Well, hey guys, welcome in, and unfortunately, it's still intermittently cold and snowy here in Colorado, but don't worry, summer is right around the corner, and I think this would be a great time to show you guys how I pack up and get the TW200 ready for some moto camping. And I also got some tips and things that I've learned over the years that I think you guys might find useful. And also, MotoCampNerd.com is sponsoring today's video. So he sent me some really cool new gear to test out, and I can't wait to get in here and try it out. So let's go ahead and get this thing started. All right, the very first thing I do is remove my tail bag that I use for day trips. Next, I'll toss on my Wolfman E12 saddlebags, and I have had these for quite some time and they've held up really well. And this is the nylon version, which they don't actually make anymore. They have a new waterproof design that looks quite a bit different. But I just drape these over the back of the seat. I already have these big main straps pre-adjusted to fit my seat, and once you get them set, you really don't have to mess with them unless you put them on another bike. And then I take these little metal hooks, put them under my man rack. They clamp on right there. And before I tighten this up, I'm gonna go ahead and install my big rock straps. I like to put the bungee part in the back. I love rock straps. All you have to do is just loop them around themselves and they're ready to go. All right, the big rock straps are on, and I'll just lay those to the side for now. And then I'll use these back straps to take a lot of the slack out of the saddlebags, but you don't want them real tight just yet. And then I'll take the bottom straps of the saddlebags and loop them around each of the passenger peg brackets. And I also have a separate video just on these saddlebags that goes a little bit more into depth if you want to check that out. I like to loop this back one through a third time just so it doesn't come loose as easy while you're riding. And then do the same thing with the other side. And then I tighten it all down, starting with the back. Tie up the excess strap just so it's not flapping all around as I ride down the road. And then I got these little clips that keep the side straps from flapping around as well. I also have a heat shield that goes on the muffler, and I actually just leave this on all the time so I don't have to bother with taking it on or off. And that just keeps the bag, when it's all weighted down, from pushing the plastic into the muffler and melting. Also, one more thing is when you get to your camp spot or taking a break or something, once in a while you might just want to check the straps, make sure they're still tight, because they can loosen up just a tiny bit when you ride off-road. The next piece of luggage I use is this big 70-liter, I think, roll top dry bag. And I've had this thing for quite some time, and it's worked pretty well. You can definitely see it's got a little bit of wear on it. My only complaint about this is that the bottom is like more of a fabric kind of stuff, so it wants to slip around. It would be pretty much perfect if it had like a rubberized bottom to keep it from slipping around, or like lashing loops that you could tie it down a little bit better, but I don't even think this thing's really meant for motorcycles, so I can't complain too much. It was pretty cheap. I might try to find something a little bit better in the future, we'll see. Nelson Rig has these cool roll top like backpacks that actually are meant to like strap to the tail and use as a backpack, so I might get something like that. Those look kind of cool. There's a lot of different options and things out there, different price points, but I don't know, maybe I'll just keep this for now. We'll see. Next, for my tank bag, I just got this Nelson Rig, I don't know, like ST 2014 or something, I don't even remember, but it's really sweet. It's expandable, and it's got a bunch of extra little compartments and everything, and it actually comes with a rain liner, which is pretty cool. And it fits pretty well on here. I pretty much keep all my camera gear in my tank bag usually. That's pretty much all the luggage I use to go moto camping. I also have a camelback that I bring as well. I'll show you guys that in just a little bit. But yeah, it's probably enough to go maybe 2 or 3 nights. Also depends on how much you want to rough it and how much food and water, if you can get water, like in a stream or something. There's a lot of factors. And also, if you didn't have all the camera gear, you could fill that up with like regular camping gear and food and water and stuff as well. But anyways, now all we have left is to fill this stuff up with gear. I'll start with my tool roll. I'll usually put that in first because it's good to try to keep the center of gravity as low as possible. It just makes for a more pleasurable riding experience. And then I got my green chili recovery kit. That really saved my butt one time. One thing I will mention about these saddlebags is they are a little bit awkward. Just the shape of them. Sometimes it's a little tricky to get stuff to fit just perfectly. Then I have this little compact tarp. These are nice if you need to set up a shelter really quick if it's raining. The small rock straps are super nice for setting up tarp shelters. Way better than paracord. I'll have to make a video on just that someday. And then I have a really basic first aid kit, and I actually added some extra clotting gauze. Other than that, it's actually got quite a bit of stuff that you might need. I think it was Rodney from T-Dubs Club said, you only need a first aid kit when you don't have it. As long as you have it, you'll never need it. Which, for some weird reason, seems to be true a lot of the times. And then I have the waterproof cover for my tank bag. And then if I can fit it, I'll jam some small rock straps in there as well. All right, there we go. I love these huge zippers on this thing. It really allows you to pack it in there full without breaking the zippers. And this saddlebag is ready to go. It's all full. All right, let's check out this care package from Ben over at motocampnerd.com. And he's actually the owner of this company, and I believe he started it not too long ago in like 2020. And I've been talking to Ben quite a bit, and he's a really cool guy. He actually does a lot of moto camping himself, and he pretty much curates and sells just stuff for moto camping. It's really high quality gear as well. And I believe he pretty much stocks and ships everything himself. And it's definitely growing. I think he's actually working on a storefront because he can get more brands and stuff like that. I just thought it was a really good idea to kind of help support small business. But anyways, let's see what we got. The first thing we got is a Sea to Summit Watercell X in the 4-liter size. And this is basically a soft reservoir that carries a whole bunch of water. And I definitely need something like this because like every video where I go moto camping, like halfway through, I'm like, oh, I don't have enough water. I am completely out of water. I'm just gonna go find some water, and I'm almost out of water. I'm also almost out of water. So now I have no more excuse to not have water. And it's made with a 400D waterproof fabric, BPA free, which is nice. It's got some straps around the side so you can hang it up or strap it down to something if you need to. But it says wash before use, so I'm gonna do that. It has a multi-function cap so you can open it up to a wide opening so you can fill it up with water and stuff like that. And then it also has a flow control valve that goes to a smaller opening, and you can adjust the amount of water that comes out. So that will be so nice for washing hands and filling stuff up for coffee and making food. And it also has a shower attachment that you can put on there, which is pretty cool. And it's a dark color, so if you let it sit in the sun, you could probably warm it up if you really need it to. And of course, once it's empty, it kind of packs down flat, so it basically takes up no space. Right off the bat, this thing seems pretty durable, no leaks. So I think it'll hold up, be interesting to see. But I'm gonna put this in one of the saddle bags. Plenty more room, put some more stuff. But just keeping that center of gravity nice and low. Probably don't wanna put anything sharp or pokey in here with this, and anything you don't wanna get wet, just in case it does rupture. Oh, next, check it out. We got a shirt and some stickers. I really like the logo of Moto Camp Nerd. Got the pistons and the camping and the gears. Pretty sweet shirt. It's got the big logo on the back, smaller one on the front. And I will definitely put one of these stickers on my bike. Once I clean it, it's pretty dirty right now, and maybe one on my toolbox. My favorite part, which is the Big Agnes Fly Creek HV ultralight bike packing tent. And this thing is super compact. And to give you an idea, let me grab my current one that I've been using, and look at that. It's literally like half the size. And also, believe it or not, both of these are 2-person tents. I think this one will be a little bit smaller once you set it up, but it's definitely worth it. And it's got the short sticks, which are only 12 inches long. And also, Big Agnes is a company based in Steamboat Springs, which is right here in Colorado. I actually used to go camping there with my family when I was a little guy. Let's see what the difference in weight is. The Big Agnes is 2 pounds, 12 ounces. Big old tent is 5 pounds, 9 ounces. That's like half the weight. My TW200 subframe will definitely appreciate that. The only downside to having something compact, ultralight, and high quality is that it's gonna cost quite a bit more than something like this. However, when you're camping on something like a dual sport, I feel like keeping your gear as light as possible is gonna be the best bet, because dual sports in general do not have very strong subframes. I've already welded mine once, and I think I have a friend, he welded his twice, and he doesn't even go moto camping. Number 2, I feel like the off-road experience in general is just gonna be a lot more fun with less weight on the back. I like to go to these camp spots that have these amazing views, but I have to take some pretty gnarly trails to get to them, and it's always a lot more enjoyable when I don't have as much weight on the back of this thing, especially when I drop my bike and I have to pick it back up. Makes a big difference. So every little bit I can shave off, the better it'll be. All right, next we have a custom footprint made specifically for this tent. And I actually never had a footprint for any of my cheaper tents because I didn't really want to bother with it because they're not that much, but having something a lot nicer, and especially with lightweight materials, it's definitely a good idea to have a footprint to keep like rocks and stuff from wearing holes through the bottom. But let's see how much this thing weighs. About 7 ounces, so it does add a bit of extra weight, but it's definitely worth it if you want to keep your tent lasting a very long time. Another thing to keep in mind is that you could probably use a hammock to help save some weight and space on your bike, but personally I think I'm more of a ground dweller. I've used a hammock a few times, and I don't know, I just like tents better. Whenever you get a new tent, I think it's a good idea to go ahead and set it up in the backyard for the first time, just to make sure everything's there and you know how to do it, so you're not in the middle of nowhere and it's dark and you can't figure out how it goes together. Let's start with the footprint, and when you set stuff up for the first time, you want to make sure you remember how it was folded together. So yeah, this side is the front. I guess I'll go ahead and pull the sticks out. Oh, neat, it's all one piece. That's kind of cool. So that way you don't have to worry about multiple sticks. Looks like it comes with an emergency field repair splint, so that could definitely come in handy. It's tied together. Here's the stakes, and we got some Velcro parts. They're super light. Bag comes with some instructions. I guess you could cut it off if you want it to. I'll probably just leave it on here. Definitely want to start staking it down before you put the poles on, or else it gets carried away. Oh my gosh. Always helps when the ground is nice and soft, that's for sure. You take the long pole with the gold end and you put it in the back of this thing. It's kind of cool that there's enough room to put it through both the ground cloth and the tent itself. Then you just clip these guys on. All right, now for the rain fly. I guess you take these little Velcro loops, loop them around on the poles. These clip on right here. definitely been pretty windy out here, and once I'm a pro at setting this thing up, I'll probably make a more detailed step-by-step how-to video. And check this out, it's got a helmet holder, except it's more for mountain bikes, but I think you could figure out another use for that. Put some kind of gear. It's also got this little gear pocket up here, put like camera stuff or your cell phone. It's got a bigger organization pocket right there, and that will definitely come in handy. I think you can actually get what's called a gear loft that attaches to like right there, and you can put more stuff up above you if you want to. Oh, it's got some pockets on the side. I didn't even notice those till just now. And it's a little small for a 2-person tent, but it's perfect for 1 person and a bunch of gear. So yeah, quick and easy to set up, and I can't wait to try this out. Oh, also I have this interesting idea called Minimalist MotoCamping that I'm gonna try out. So basically I'll have to probably wait till like midsummer so it's nice and warm and I don't have to bring as much gear with me, but I'll get one of those small summer sleeping bags that's lightweight and compact, and obviously I'll bring my tail bag with tools and everything, and then my tank bag I won't carry as much camera supplies. Basically I'll just use my phone and my GoPro. I'll just bring the bare minimum and see how that goes. I think that would be pretty fun to do actually. But anyways, let's pack this up. All right, next we have a Cedar Summit Ultralight Insulated Sleeping Pad, and I've never actually had one of these before. So I think this will really come in handy to help keep me warm at night, because it's kind of weird. Sometimes like I'll feel kind of hot and kind of cold at the same time, and I think what's happening is I'm losing some of my heat through the pad. And these things come in different R values, and basically it's like 1 to 5. A low value won't really help keep you warm, and then 5 obviously is for really cold weather like winter camping. This is a 3.1, so it's a good middle ground. I think the higher value is gonna have a bigger pack size. I'm not 100% sure, but it kind of makes sense because you'd have to put more of the thermolite insulation in there. This one is the large size. However, Cedar Summit sells a few different sizes of these, and I looked it up, and small would fit me almost perfectly because I'm not a very big person. However, Moto Camp Nerd only sells the large right now, but I think he might be selling the other ones later on as his company grows. The size large is 595 grams or 21 ounces, and the small one, I looked it up, is 430 grams or 15.1 ounces. But the pack size is not that much difference between the two. I think with the small, you only shave off about 1 inch from the top. However, the large size is quite a bit wider, so it might be a bit comfortable rolling around in the middle of the night. This one is about 2 inches thick, so it keeps you off the ground pretty good. I like the design when these mattresses have all these little individual cells, because I had a Cabela's one that had these elongated tubular things that go horizontally across it, and I could never get comfortable at night. I would always like want to roll off, but when you have all these little individual cells, it really prevents that from happening in my experience. All right, let's see what this thing looks like. So here's the pack size. It's definitely a bit bulky. Here is my one that's not insulated, and it's definitely a pretty big difference, almost twice the size, but it'll definitely be nice to have some insulation. And I'll probably just keep this one for like super warm, like midsummer camping. But even in midsummer, if I camp at high elevations, it still gets pretty darn chilly at night, even low 40s or upper 30s. And sometimes you'll still see snow. But anyways, let's go ahead and blow it up. It says remove mat from this end first. This is a patch kit, and these are pillow attachments. Then the air pump is on the other side. So that's full open, and then if you close that and open the side one, it's got a one-way valve. You could blow it up manually, but insert that there. Supposedly you just fill the bag up with air, and you can press it down. Oh, it's going pretty fast. And that is pretty much full. That is nice and comfy. It already feels kind of warm. Next, we got a Snugpak Basecamp air pillow. And I actually already have some Sea to Summit Aeros pillows. And I've had these for quite a long time. And I have two of them. One's a large size and one's a regular, because I can sleep a lot more comfortably with a pillow in between my knees for some reason. I've always been like that. Moto Camp Nerd sells these as well, and I believe the Snugpak is a bit of a cheaper option. So let's see how they compare. Oh yeah, let's weigh them, see which one is lighter. 87 grams for the Snugpak, and we'll do the large Sea to Summit pillow. It's 116 grams, quite a bit of a difference. The regular is 83, so actually a little bit lighter. Size-wise, I think the Snugpak is a little bit smaller. It's definitely thinner. There it is with the regular. Wow, that's not too far away from a regular size pillow. So let's compare that to the Sea to Summit. This is the large size. So it's actually pretty close. The Snugpak maybe is a little bit bigger, but not much. On the pictures, the Snugpak actually looks like kind of rubbery, but in reality, it's kind of a fabric-y feel. It's kind of soft, actually. This one, the softest part is the gray area, which is not bad at all. Yeah, I think the Sea to Summit is a little softer. The Snugpak is not quite as thick, but I actually think I might like that better. So it'll be cool to compare these two. It'd probably be better if you just put a shirt around it as a pillowcase. It'd probably be perfect. Yeah, I think the Sea to Summit is definitely a bit softer. It's a little quieter too. I think the Snugpak is a great, cheaper alternative. I think it's actually less than half the price of the Sea to Summit one. All right, next we have a Snugpak hands and face travel towel. And this is, I think, one of those like kind of quick drying towels, and it comes in a mesh bag. I think something like this will be great if you're expecting rain in case you get soaking wet, and then you can dry yourself off once you get in your tent. It's made with an antibacterial microfiber, so that's pretty cool. And it's super light, very thin, won't take up really any extra room at all. Something like this could definitely come in handy. Next, we have some Sea to Summit wilderness wipes, and I could see this being useful for longer trips, like a 3-day moto camping trip, because you get kind of gross after a few days of camping, and this would be nice to like wash your face off and stuff like that, but definitely could come in handy. Next, we have a Snugpak Essentials wash bag. This is the one that I've always used before, and it's basically just a Mole webbing kind of organizer bag, but I think this one will work a lot better. This one is just slightly longer and wider, but it's also, I think, a little bit thinner. However, it does expand some. My old one only has one little pocket, and then it has all these little elastic straps that kind of hold things in. I think this one will be a little bit nicer because it's got a built-in hook that pops out, and it's a bit easier to hang without everything kind of falling out. It's got this big mesh pocket, and then behind those, it's got 3 smaller ones. And then up top, it's got one small mesh zippered pocket, a bigger zippered one that goes all the way halfway down, and then it has another one on top of that. And this one has a cool little mirror that Velcros on there. It can help you get all those boogers off your face after you've been moto camping for too many days. So in here, I'll probably put my toilet paper. It's down in the bottom. I got an even smaller one of these microfiber towels, so I can stick that down in there. I got some gum, probably stick that up top. I got these little disposable toothbrushes. Probably stick those in the top with the gum. And also I have a regular mini toothbrush and a mini toothpaste as well, because I've gotten cavities before and I don't like getting cavities, so I try to brush my teeth as much as possible. Oh, and this yellow thing right here actually holds camp soap in the form of sheets. It comes with 50 of them, and these actually dissolve when you use them with water. It's kind of cool. The only thing you want to watch out for is not to get this thing wet, or it'll pretty much ruin all of them. But stuff that down in there, one of those smaller mesh pockets. Then I got some hand sanitizer. Then I got these little flosser things, super useful. And I got some Pepto-Bismol and chapstick. I'll just stick those in this elastic strap. I also got some basic first aid stuff in here as well, but I'll probably just leave that out from now on because I have the extra first aid kit that I already put in there. I don't want to bring way too much stuff that I really don't have to. Last but not least, we have a UST Trekker stove. Actually, there's one more thing in here, and that is a P51 can opener. Look at that thing, it's tiny. I actually don't usually bring cans with me, but this will be perfect for the zombie apocalypse. So I'll definitely keep that around. Some instructions, a little bag, the stove itself, and a fuel can stabilizer. So I actually already have a mini camp stove, but I think I like the design of this one a bit better. But this is the one I've used for quite a while. I don't know, they're pretty similar in size. I mean, this one might be just slightly bigger, but this one I have, I mean, it works, but it's kind of a pain to open. You have to kind of spin all of these little things around. Sometimes they get stuck pretty good, like right there. And it's got these little things that kind of fold out. But I really like the design of this, where they just fold out like that. That's so cool. This one definitely has a bit more surface area to help stabilize a pot or a cup or whatever you're cooking. And it's got a little bit bigger burner. They both have electric starts. The new one is 84 grams. My old one is 94 grams, so you shave a little bit of weight off. And also, it's cool that it comes with the base plate for the gas canister, because my old one, I had to buy that separately. Nice little metal one right there. Obviously, you have to buy the butane canisters separately, and let's test them out. Here's the old one. Things always fold in when you least want them to. Yeah, this one definitely has a little bit less surface area for the flame. So there's my old base plate. Pretty close to the same size. Both of these base plates look like they will support the smaller ones like this and the bigger one. I just love the way this one folds up. So much quicker. And as far as cookware, pretty much all I bring is this stainless steel mug, and I can cook anything from ramen to coffee in this thing. I'm really not a huge moto camping cook, more minimalist when it comes to the food I bring. And also I bring this little titanium spoon and fork. I used to use the plastic version of these, but they would always break in my saddle bag. So I got the titanium one, and so far it hasn't snapped in half. And the main reason I like the smaller one is I just wrap it in a washcloth and then fits right in there perfectly. Save you some room, and it also protects it from getting punctured or something like that inside your bag. So that's all the new stuff I got from Moto Camp Nerd. Now I will just show you guys all the other stuff that I have used for quite a long time, and we will start out with my 15-degree down sleeping bag. However, I guess I messed up because apparently you're not supposed to leave these compressed for a long time, and this has been compressed ever since I've had it, so for like a couple years. I guess it damages the down when it's compressed way too long and it won't keep you as warm. I learned that from As the Magpie Flies channel, and I guess I will just keep using this for now, and if I ever get a nicer down sleeping bag, I will take better care of it and not keep it compressed when I'm not gonna use it. I guess I'll fill up the rest of this saddle bag, and I'll start with my rain jacket. That way it's easy to access in case it gets cold or starts raining, because it's a little bit of a pain to get into the big tail bag quickly. Now I guess I'll put my food in here. Got a granola bar, instant coffee that actually tastes good. I guess we'll see about that. Gotta have some beef jerky. Can't go camping without beef jerky. And then check it out, we got some pepperoni pizza, self-heating, fully baked. I'd call this Moto Camping pizza, and honestly guys, I don't really have high hopes for this, but I don't know, I'm willing to try it out. I got this at Walmart. Then we got some ramen noodles, and of course don't forget the Pop-Tarts, or shall I say smash tarts. Guys, if you're riding in the desert, this isn't really gonna matter, but if you got fresh water sources where you're riding, you could always get a water filter. This is the kind that I've used for quite a while, and it's a Sawyer Mini, and these are actually fairly cheap, but you have your filter, and then it's got this bag that you fill up with water. The one thing I don't really like about this one is the area where you fill it up at. It's kind of small, so it's kind of hard to get water in there as quickly, but it does do the job though. But I kid you not, a marmot actually chewed this bag up, and I had to use my friend's water filter, which I liked so much better that I actually got my own. And this is a Katadyn Be-Free water filtration system, and it's actually made in Switzerland. It's a bit more expensive, but I love this thing so much better because it just seems faster and a little bit easier to filter out water. The bag seems a lot higher quality, and it's easier to squeeze. This one is kind of like, I don't know, it's kind of painful. That makes sense because it's got all these little sharp edges on it. And also the filter itself is super easy to clean, and you don't need the back flush syringe, and it dries out a lot better. It also has a much bigger area to fill up with water. Both of them make water biologically safe to drink. This is my bear bag where I hang my food so far up in the tree. Oh, fits perfectly right there. So this is my mini collapsible lantern, and I love this thing. Folds open, and to turn it on, you just hold the power button. It starts out in that kind of cool light color, and then you click it again, and it's a nice warm light. I really like how you can change between the two because it's a lot easier on the eyes having that warm light at night. And you click it again, it's a really dim warm light, and then you click it again, and it's kind of a candlelight flicker with the warm light. And then it goes back to the bright cool light. And turn off, you just hold it. And the rubber part is also glow in the dark, which is kind of cool. It's a USB micro rechargeable, and you can also charge it with the sun. It's got a little solar panel on there. It automatically starts charging. And I like this, it's a flip up carabiner. I use this to usually clip at the top of my tent. And it doesn't take up much room. I'll just stuff it down in here. Next, I got my SOG Fast Hawk. I've used this thing quite a bit. And this is great for tent stakes as well as cutting wood for a campfire. I probably should have put this in first where it was flat on the bottom, but I think it'll work fine right here next to the sleeping bag. This is just a self-inflating cushion, and this is great to sit on. You could put it on the ground to sit, or on a log, or on a rock. I have one of those mini backpacking chairs, but I kind of like this better just because it takes up a lot less room and it's not as heavy. And it's faster to set up. This is just a wind barrier that goes around the stove. It allows you to boil water and stuff much, much faster. And I'll just stick that next to the Fast Hawk on the side there. Here's a power bank. I use this for my time lapses on my camera. Comes in handy. You can also use it for other things like your cell phone, stuff like that. Oh yeah, here's that titanium fork and spoon. Don't want to forget that. I like these quick fires. They make making a campfire so much easier. I don't know, we might be having fire bans all year like last year, but we'll see. I'll bring it with me just in case. Next, I'll bring a headlamp. This is a Sofern SP40. I love this thing, it's super cheap. USB rechargeable, and it's plenty bright. It's got the 4-click lockout mode. 1, 2, 3, 4. That way it won't turn on in your bag, because that would be bad. And then I'll also just bring my Sofern SP33 version 3. This thing's super bright. I already got it in lockout mode. Next, I just got this bag where I keep all my clothes, like extra socks and underwear and thermals and stuff like that. And then I got my Milwaukee Heat It hoodie with 2 batteries. And that should be about it. Now we just gotta close this up, roll the top down. So these are the bigger rock straps that I use for my big tail bag, and they're 1 inch wide. And Moto Camp Nerd sells these ones only. I do not believe right now he sells the smaller ones. I use these for my small tail bag, and I will also use a set for my big tail bag to kind of help stabilize it along with these. I also like to put my bear spray on one of these rock straps before I put my tail bag on. I just put these in a cross pattern. Definitely not shy in making these tight. I also have these buckles up here that buckle around the straps. Just make sure it's not gonna slide off of here. Then I just loop the small rock straps from these D-rings on the saddlebags. And I don't do a cross pattern with these. I just go straight, fold up the excess and stick it under one of the straps. And that usually holds it on pretty good going down the road. And that keeps it on nice and good. Doesn't ever seem to want to go anywhere. And of course, if you ever need it to, you could also attach a fuel bottle back here as well. So this is my hydration pack, and as you can tell, the fun meter is always pegged to the max. The main compartment consists of the hydration bladder, and this is just a 2-liter Camelback, and the one that actually comes with this is actually a little bit bigger, but I've just been using this one for now. In this pocket, I usually just keep my self-defense. This lower pocket, I have a SOL emergency bivvy. I really don't need this for moto camping, but I bring it on day trips in case I have to spend the night in an emergency kind of situation. And then I have a wet fire, and down in here, I have a lighter. I got my Spot Gen 3. I got some clotting gauze, a pen for geocaching, and just a little flosser in case you need some floss or something. And then just a waterproof bag in case it's raining or something. You don't want something to get wet. Some matches, just a knife, and some more matches. And I actually have a lot more room for other stuff in here as well. But anyways, I really like the size of this. It's not too big, so it doesn't weigh down your back when you're riding all day. And it's got some mesh parts, kind of keep your back from getting too sweaty. And it's got a holder for the hydration tube. And it just has a chest strap, which is definitely nice for riding. So this is my Nelson Rig tank bag, and I love this thing. It's definitely great value for the price. And I actually filmed a video all about it, but I still need to edit that. Your tank bag is definitely gonna be the best place to put more breakable items like cameras and stuff, because it's super well protected by the handlebars, so it won't get crushed. It's got a zippered pocket on each side of this thing, and I always put my GoPro batteries on the left side. And then when I use them, I put them in the right side, so that way I don't get them mixed up. And I also got some toe warmers in there in case my feet get cold. Here's the main compartment, and the thing I really like about this bag compared to my old one is that this see-through sleeve is only accessible on the inside. So that way, stuff in there like your phone isn't gonna fall out. And I just got some earplugs and a little thermometer in that pocket. It's got some pen holders and stuff like that. The things I put in here are always gonna change depending on what I'm doing, but I'll just give you guys a few examples. Here is my Mavic Air, and I'm actually going to be selling this soon. The controller, sunshade, some ND filters, 2 batteries, a video light, a mini tripod, a USB charging cable with every adapter that you need, and then a USB power adapter so I can run the time lapse all night long. And also there's plenty of more room for more stuff as well, but that's about it. And also this bag is actually expandable, this zipper on the bottom. So if you want to pack some more stuff in there, or you got a jacket or something, you can actually make it bigger, which is kind of cool. Well guys, I'm pretty much ready to go moto camping at this point. And of course, it'll always matter what you're gonna do. Like if you're gonna stay more than one night, or if you're riding in the desert or in the mountains, or if it's cold weather, rainy weather, hot weather. I mean, your gear will always change depending on what you're expecting. But I thought this would just give you guys a good general idea of basic stuff to bring when you go moto camping. Anyways, guys, if you want to check out any of the new Moto Camp Nerd items that I got, and you want to help support the channel, be sure to check out the links down in the description below. He's also got a lot of other cool items on his website, and he's always adding new stuff. I can't wait to go on some more moto camping adventures this spring and summer and fall. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Be sure to go on your own adventure out there, and I will see you next time. Peace out.